Alright everybody, welcome to game 2 of the ZvZ matchup between lefeu and DeadZone. They are going to be playing on Lost Temple. That was a mystery map in which we will see them play. And lefeu over here on the right and DeadZone on the top. So both overlords will be scouting in this direction, probably cross paths in the Gulf. We'll see some shattered battle cruisers, some carriers and whatnot in the background, maybe even a little whale shark or whatever it's called. And lefeu not opting for the extractor trick as DeadZone does, and we'll see that the resources will be different. I wish there was kind of a cumulative resources thing, so we could see who has a better resource collection rate over the entire game. But we will see that lefeu gets started on his 12th drone a little bit sooner. And of course this is kind of balanced by the fact that DeadZone has that 11th drone a little bit sooner as well. But once he starts his extractor and starts everything else, we see that it's kind of a moot point. But again, it's just a matter of taste. That extractor trick gives you a little bit of extra APM in the beginning, but it's not that big of a deal. 9 Overlord has been proven to be marginally more effective in the early game. But then again, that's only really necessary in the very top. But for, diamond scrubs like us, they don't have to worry about it. But both players getting a sensible spawning pool, as you do need to get that important tech structure in order to progress as a Zerg player. And it looks like both players know where each other are, in fact, just kind of sitting above each other's bases, making sure there's nothing funky going on. And again, this might devolve into kind of Baneling play that we saw DeadZone exploit on Scrap Station in the previous game, but I would really like to see something fresh and exciting. Whether that's tunnel claw roaches, or if that's continuous contaminate. And I'm actually not sure if you contaminate a hatchery, if it stops larva production. That would be kind of a big thing. I doubt it does, just purely because it would have been a viable strategy in ZvZ. But who knows? Both players getting a queen out, which is absolutely great, because queens make a Zerg playable. At the very least playable. Or for some people, at the very most. But I'm excited to say that there's some changes coming down the pipe that will be quite good for Zerg, I hope. Whether those changes just chiefly revolve around Terran, or if it's in some way helped by the Zealot nerf for Protoss, we shall see. But right now, looks like lefeu might be considering. No, he's going to go for the spit. I thought he was positioning his queen here to do a little bit of creep tumoring, which again is a double-edged sword in ZvZ, because you're also giving that speed boost to your opponent as well. So it's not like this purple stuff is different than this purple stuff. The only thing different about it is it grants vision to the owner of it, which is kind of interesting. But Zergling's now moving across the map. Going to take the watchtower and sit up straight. We do not have a Baneling nest. Yes, we do. So DeadZone kind of falling back on what he knows to be worthwhile. That would be Banelings. lefeu, though, countering with roaches. And roaches will take a ton of Banelings to bring down. And they do a fair amount of damage. And lefeu, don't move out of that position. DeadZone can see it, that he is blocking the ramp with roaches, and look at this. This could be bad. These Zerglings could just run by these out-of-position roaches while the Banelings will follow, but we'll see. They're kind of all together. lefeu can see it. And yes, I'm making fun of his name. He's part of the clan there, and a lot of fun those guys are. Now blocking the ramp and doing a great job of it it would take multiple levels of banelings to really do a lot of damage. It looks like a ton more zerglings and banelings. It's more of an all-in maneuver, sort of, by DeadZone. These banelings and zerglings are guaranteed to do damage just purely because of what they offer, and that is a ton of damage. But again, those roaches just absorbing so much damage, and now in their weakened state, not able to do a ton of damage to the zerglings, who are just waiting and willing to go in. But more reinforcements for lefeu, kind of scaring his opponent away, and now just using him to kind of scout around, maybe stay in the corner here, wait for these banelings to come up, and who knew 2 zerglings could do that much damage to just pure a queen? It looks like the surround has completed. Queen will go down unequivocally, and now the threat has ended from DeadZone. Or has it? Looks like more zerglings are in the base, waiting and willing for the roaches to be kind of sucked into it. And now lefeu in trouble as his... okay. Kill the lair. Good luck with that, zerglings. But again, not too much happening on both sides. Both sides just making an instant army to avoid perhaps the reality that they have to make drones to continue in the game. Looks like lefeu feels comfortable enough to do that after killing a couple more zerglings here. And now, DeadZone in position for a zergling surround here, putting down some spine crawlers, and lefeu continuing across the map will be spotted by this overlord kind of next to the line of sight blockers. And we do see in the unit count that lefeu very much ahead in the drone count, so I would say that at this point in the game he's got a much stronger position, especially if he pops out now and does some damage, kills the queen. 3 shots are basically, but now DeadZone completing that great surround that he had his lings over here in position for. Very smartly handled by DeadZone. Unfortunately, got to be able to get another queen pretty quickly, and lefeu already has that out. Unfortunately, no expansion, a lot of money, needs it quick. Not a lot of gas because of the way the roaches work, and also just getting that layer up and now burrow. Do we have tunneling claws? Oh, no, we have speed. That's just too bad. A ton of zerglings moving across the map. Looks like those might again be going to morph into banelings or something like that. But now lefeu again blocking the ramp. Very smart. lefeu with zerglings of his own. These aren't fast. They do not have those wings that make them so awesome. But now a Spire coming up from DeadZone. Kind of in a curious position. It's like he just randomly picked that, but probably not the best position to put a very critical tech structure, you know, kind of out close to the ramp and stuff like that. Right now, lefeu does not have any anti-air save the queen, and I don't think that will save the queen because she's kind of all alone there. Evo Chamber is up and also getting that first upgrade for missile attacks. Looks like I missed a push here, sending DeadZone back to his base. And look at this, a very carefully constructed wall from lefeu. Wants to make sure that nothing can get through, making sure that it's all held into position. Unfortunately, that means any reinforcements have to go through the wall, which it can't do because they're holding position. But DeadZone looks like he's going to be putting down that Spire, and it should actually be nearly complete, but now Spore Crawlers for his opponent. And it is nearly complete, only 3 able to be pushed out right away. And if that's enough, that's enough. If it's not, I will continue to distort my voice by putting a hand in front of my face. Yeah. But now we got a little circle on the map as the zerglings are trying to take out the rocks. Again, it takes a while. Now with a complete surround, though, doing a ton of damage. Now more reinforcements for lefeu. Nothing in the anti-air department save for these 3 spore colonies, or spore crawlers. I apologize for that. Which do a fair amount of damage. They fire about as fast as a marine and do nearly 2.5 times. No, exactly 2.5 times base damage. Unfortunately, they do not get bonuses from the missile attack, despite having the same exact animation. Actually, she has 3. This has 1. I apologize. But now mutas are out. DeadZone in a commanding position tech-wise, and ooh, we do see tunneling claws being researched. So interesting that lefeu decides this a little bit later than maybe he would like, with a ton of roaches here continue to be reinforced, and lefeu dropping some creep around here, making them a little bit faster. And I gotta admit that tunneling claws looks really cool in green. In pink, it looks more white and gives them kind of a punk rock, emo, goth type of thing. You know, all the spikes and whatnot, but this is nice and interesting as well. I'm just waiting for the point where DeadZone has enough mutas to push out and really do some damage, and I'm not sure exactly when that'll be. But he is on 2 base, already having his expansion up, not really saturated, not really getting gas, and that's the important part. He's fine on minerals, but he needs gas, especially if he's dead set on continuing production of the mutalisks. It looks like he's doing kind of a pretty nice combination of things here, and he might be a little bit in trouble to deal with this initial push, but these mutas will do a ton of damage here. These banelings being taken out before doing too much damage to these roaches. Looks like they were trying for a run by, but didn't work out quite as he expected. lefeu moving up with his speed tunneling claw roaches to try and pick off as many queens as he can. 2 down already. Going to be 3-shotting or so the spore crawlers or spine crawlers, and now taking out tech structures, and we shall see exactly how this plays out for lefeu. Very commanding lead. No, oh, he does have an overseer. Probably got that as soon as he saw the spiky things on the roaches, but it looks like these mutas may just be enough to deal with them. It looks like lefeu trying to get out by tunneling underneath the ground and running around, but that's not going to be the case, as the overseer providing detection of the burrowed units. Looks like lefeu trying to take down this layer yet again, this time with roaches instead of zerglings, but doing a ton of damage to DeadZone's economy. Now all DeadZone has to do is really move across the map and kill. But it looks like he's going to deal with the more pressing matter of the roach, even though he has enough money to raise an army yet again. This is just a great delaying tactic by lefeu. Unfortunately, still just 3 spore colonies. Oh, wait, I apologize. He's putting down a ton more. As he saw the amount of mutas that his opponent had. Unfortunately, this amount of spore crawlers in one base means that he has less resources to spend elsewhere on either defense or just more units, especially drones. It looks like he got hit pretty hard and he hasn't really recovered. lefeu still behind in economy, and that's part of the fact that he made all these spore crawlers, and part of the fact that, you know, a lot of the things the DeadZone did at the beginning kind of threw him off his game, and that's from the banelings to a bunch of different things that you just can't, you know, put a price on economically for why he hasn't produced as many drones as he needs. But it looks like that's not even going to come close to supply blocking him. So it looks like DeadZone doing a little bit of a misstep there, but taking out the expansion is definitely something you want to do. Hydra's now out for lefeu. DeadZone should be getting a 3rd or maybe even a 4th base at this. Putting this much pressure on your opponent gives you that free pass to expand, and there's not a lot they can do with it, unfortunately for them. DeadZone still only off of 2 gas, and the mutas still being ran around and kind of repelled by lefeu. Unfortunately, the contain still exists, and that is the important part for DeadZone. He's able to kind of control the map, control the tempo, make sure that his opponent can't really move outside the base. Now lefeu doing a smart thing, creeping the ground in lieu of the lefeu in lieu